Good afternoon. Welcome back. Another day in our birthday series today. It is January 25th, 2023, and we have two birthdays that we've got drivers that we have cards of, and a couple more folks in the racing world that do not have cards. So we're going to start off with those that do not real quickly. Um, Harry Ranier, longtime car owner, has a birthday today. Harry did pass away a number of years ago, sadly, but he was a multiple time winning car owner, especially at Daytona, and his cars sat on the front row or won the pole numerous times from 1979 through the mid 80s. They were just an incredibly fast car on the big tracks. Also having a birthday today, Chuck Hill, former crew member for Bill Elliott. I believe Chuck was one of the ones that was injured out at Riverside in the fall race in 1987, out on the pit road. I want to say he may have been the jackman or tire changer, but sadly, Bill Elliott's team, 1987 and 1990 at Atlanta, of course, two very bad accidents in the pits. Do we have anybody else? Not really anybody I think anybody on this channel would hear of. But the first one we're going to start off with, only have one card. He does have 4 cards in racing altogether, but I've only got one. And born on this date in 1955. Had to read my writing, and it's right there on the card in front of me if I would have looked. The racing pharmacist T.W. Taylor. So this is a 1994 Max card. I'm going to flip it over and let you read a little bit about Mr. Taylor. Of course, he fielded cars primarily numbered 02, especially around 93, 94, 95. Jeremy Mayfield drove this car 94, after he, right before he went to Cale Yarborough, and when Derek Cope was released, Derek drove that car for a few races before he went to drive for Bobby Allison. But our second birthday and our primary birthday for today, excuse me, born on this date in 1941. Sadly, he passed away a number of years ago as well. One Mr. Buddy Baker. So Buddy has a storied career, 19 career wins. I believe he's got 21 career poles. He's driven for many teams in NASCAR. Of course, here he was driving the Moroso car. 1990, he was driving for Junie Donlevy for a few races. After he come back from a crash in 1988, he did suffer head injury in the World 600 in 1988. Driving that car, his own car, that was a very nice looking car, but he did suffer head injury in 1988. Was forced to semi-retire, had to undergo brain surgery to remove a blood clot off his brain. He was having dizzy spells and some other issues. Come back, ran a handful of races for the Moroso team for Junie Donlevy. This picture here is from 1985, his first year as an owner-driver, driving the car that he and Danny Schiff co-owned, the Bullfrog Knits car. There's a picture of Buddy. It's got his Uno gear, so that would have been a short stint with Haas Ellington in the 1982 season, I believe. Got plenty 91 Max to go around. There's his Dodge days. That would have been Cotton Owens' team back in the late 60s, early 70s. He has driven for Richard Petty. He's driven for the Wood Brothers. Harry Ranier, we mentioned his birthday. Buddy drove for Harry Ranier as well. MC Anderson, the 27 car back in the 70s, Buddy's driven for. Derek Close, this car right here, the number 47, Kanawha Insurance car. There's another nondescript uniform, but that's probably his first career win in 1967. There's his final career win, the 88 Firecracker 400. That's kind of cool. If that's the actual first win and last win, that's pretty sweet. Again, a lot of repeat cards, but he's got quite a few. Of course, we've talked about this card before. I always think that thing in the background makes it look like a top hat that just blew off his head. There's another one, CRC Chemicals, Regal Ride. I can't read the name on the trophy, But I'm going to say that's probably his 1980 Daytona 500 win, based on the decals. And we have plenty of that Bullfrog Nits card just jumping out at us. Here's another early career win, his final one we just talked about. There's one of his first rides. Look how young he is. Probably 19, 20 years old there, back in 1958, 59. He started around the same time that Richard Petty started. There's another good look at that Uno uniform from the early 80s, driving for Haas Ellington. I always liked this Valvoline car, the Wood Brothers. Always just thought that was a nice, clean-looking car. That combination, they didn't match up. They figured they'd be dominant everywhere they went because the Wood Brothers ran the speedways, and Buddy was an awesome speedway driver. There's that Cotton Owens Wing Dodge Daytona. Looks like we're going through here and pretty much have seen everything. Okay, that's his own team. Kind of co-owned with Rod Osterland. Ran in the 1991 Daytona 500. Of course, there was 5 cars that started the race that didn't have sponsorship. R.J. Reynolds put some money down, cobbled together some teams to represent each one of the armed forces. As Operation Desert Shield, Operation Desert Storm was going on, the Gulf War. And there's Buddy Baker and a VW Bug that he does not fit in. So anyway, very, very storied career there of Buddy Baker. One of the more popular drivers on the circuit. After he retired, he did get into TV, working with TNN and CBS. He is always really great to listen to in the booth, his insight. He had a lot of fun working with the likes of like Mike Joy, Ned Jarrett, Ken Squire, and all those folks. And he blended in really, really well with his personality and his insight. And of course, as a driver and a team owner and a color commentator, he is missed to this day. So anyway, happy birthday to everyone that was celebrating their birthdays today, whether they are with us or no longer with us. This is your day, and we appreciate your contributions to NASCAR and to racing. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we will see you tomorrow.